Thanks again, pal. Right, here we go, brand new Michelin, what are they? Anakee Adventure, and it's always nice to get a brand new set of tyres on your bike. So, why did I choose these? Well, this is the new addition to Gear Talk HQ. The BMW R1200GSA Adventure Triple Black. My own bike, and I'm very excited. It's something I've been toying with for a long time, and I just eventually decided to cross over to the dark side. When I got the bike, it had Michelin Anakee 3s on. Not to say I didn't trust them, didn't really know anything about them, to be honest, but they were fairly worn. The rear tyre had definitely flattened off to the point where you got the good old-fashioned 50p feeling, where you lean over to a certain point and then it just tips. When a tyre gets like that, it's time to swap it out. I bought this bike with the full intention of doing long days in the saddle, on tour. I can't say it's going to be a garage queen, but I also can't say it's going to get used every day, because I've got other vehicles that I can use. But for me, tyres are probably the most important part of the bike insofar as safety. Well, they're kind of right up there with brakes, and if you know what I mean. To me, it doesn't make any sense whatsoever to scrimp and scrape on a set of tyres just for the sake of saving a few quid. Yes, they're expensive, and yes, they wear out quickly, but as is the old adage, you get what you pay for. On a scooter, on a bike with less power, perhaps, you know, the differences between expensive premium tyres and run-of-the-mill mediocre ones, or even the lower end of the spectrum, the cheaper ones, maybe the difference is negligible, so it might be worth saving a few quid. But this is a premium bike. It's a big engine, it's heavy, and it's torquey, so you need something that sticks. You need something that's going to perform in all kinds of weather. Living in the UK, the reason why I've chosen the Anakee Adventure, right, well, a lot of it is to do with the reviews, in all honesty. I've got a Triumph Sprint ST1050, and all I've ever used on that one is Michelin Pilot Road 5s. The first set I had on it, I did 10,000 miles, just over 10,000 miles. They never put a foot wrong, and I'd ridden in absolute torrential rain, ridden in Scotland with them, down to about 3 degrees when it's wet, greasy and slippy, and also when me and Graham went to Spain, rode them in temperatures up to and including 50 degrees Celsius, and they never put a foot wrong. But I digress. So yeah, 10,000 miles, some spirited, some just cruising, and they were fantastic. But ironically, and what really surprised me, was the front wore out quicker than the rear. and I don't know why. I don't know whether that's a Michelin thing. I don't know whether that's my riding style. Too much front brake, not enough accelerator. I don't know whether it's my position on the bike, with it being a sports tourer. I tend to lean forwards, so there's a lot of weight resting on the front wheel. And for the majority of the time I was carrying a tank bag. Not that puts a lot of weight on. So that was a strange one. But they were good enough for me to warrant buying a second set. And 10,000 miles out of a motorcycle tyre, in my eyes, is just it's phenomenal. Yes, they're expensive. You know, the initial cost of them is expensive, but they were worth it all day long. So, not being a brand snob, but having tried and really enjoyed Michelin's, I thought I'm going to go for Michelin again. Add to the fact that they'd had great reviews, and add to the fact that currently when I got them, Michelin were actually doing a promotion offer where they were offering free fitting anyway. So, you know, you do the sums, it stacks up, and I just thought, yeah, we'll plumb for these. We've got a few friends of Graham and I who've got GSs, and some of them swear by these. They are, from what I've been told by the lovely lady at reception from the garage that I've just been to, they no longer make the Anakee 3s, and these Anakee Adventures have now superseded them. Apparently, and again I don't know because I've not ridden with them for too long anyway, the Anakee 3s were known for being noisy. That's the feedback that she got from customers, and possibly that's filtered down to Michelin. So it'd be interesting to see. It's difficult for me on my rides because I always ride with plugs anyway. I have quite sensitive ears, unfortunately, from years of loud music and loud bikes. I've got tinnitus. Not all the time, thankfully, but occasionally it just gets set off by frequency. Now that frequency can be anything from a loud exhaust to somebody clapping the hand too close to my ear. When it hits a certain frequency, it sets off a ringing in my ears, which the only way I can describe it is like a tuning fork. And somebody's tapped it and held it next to your ear, and you just get that constant pitch. So, back onto the Anakee Adventure. As we all know, whenever you get a brand new set of tyres, it always pays dividends to scrub them in. Don't go too ham-fisted when you get them. Long gone are the days where they have that slippy coating on them, you know, to get the tyre out of the moulding. But they do have certain agents in them that need just scrubbing off. But also, you need to scruff the tyres up anyway, just to give it more stickiness. And another reason for scrubbing your tyres in is you've got to get used to them, you know. So, not that I am any kind of tyre guru, but again, just going back to research and from a few years of going through sets of tyres, in my humble opinion, the best thing to do is just go for a ride and take it steady. Imagine you're riding in the rain. It's that kind of riding style. You don't need to go nuts. You don't need to baby it either, you know, but just ride sensibly. Try and do a good section just on the nice and straight, so the centre bit gets scruffed up a little bit, and then gradually lean over little bits at a time, just a little bit more, and then a little bit more, and then a little bit more. And what you'll have is a good contact patch in the centre, and if you lean out more and more each time, you'll be spreading that good contact patch, so you'll never be without it. You'll never go from the scruffed up area straight onto the slippy area. That's kind of that's a bit of a recipe for disaster, is that one. So yeah, just take your time scrubbing in tyres. Don't abuse them. Ride safe. Alright, what I'm going to do as well is, you know, as time goes on, I'll give you a little bit of feedback, tell you how they're performing. It'll be interesting from my point of view, and maybe you might find it a bit interesting as well. Alright, see you in the next one. Ta-ra!